Good morning, campers. I'm now Apophis. Getting your word in right in the beginning here. I see. It's just a tight turn, buddy. Nothing to be afraid of with that white line. We are on Interstate 15. Today is October 25th. Yeah, let's go with 25th. We're heading down to Boise to pick up our next load. Just delivered in Great Falls last night. The Sam's Club once again. Good news, trailer doors did not fall off this time. No doors were harmed in the making of yesterday's video or delivery. And we are headed south on I-15. Nice long deadhead on this load. But luckily the load we're picking up in Boise pays extremely well, so it's worth it. I do not mind a long deadhead for an expensive load. That's fine. You kind of expect long deadheads coming out of Great Falls. Normally it's normally our deadhead is just right over to Missoula, but they found us a much better load out of Boise this time, which is surprising because I think there's often cargo that goes from Missoula down to Boise that we could have gone and grabbed, but I guess it wasn't running today. It's not a frequent trip, and it's not a full truckload when it does go. So we are on our way south. Oh, we got a town. What town is this? Basin, Montana. I would almost want, if I ever started my own trucking company, I would want to headquarter it here, just so I could say I was based in Basin. Because that would amuse me. It would amuse me significantly, and forever. Doesn't look like there's much here, though. I don't know where I would even build a trucking company. There's no room. There's like one red garage down there, and that's it. There's the entirety of everything here. That is all of Basin. Oh, apparently there's some buildings up ahead. Okay, so there's more to Basin. There's more to Basin than meets the eye. A little bit of snow on the grass there on the side of the mountain. Snowplow turnaround. Yeah, truck speed limit is up to 70 on I-15 now. Very nice. That's pretty recent. Earlier this year it was still at 65 in most areas. And now it is, now it's higher. Now it's significantly higher. We can't do 70, so the speed limit for me is effectively still 65. But having the speed limit up at 70 means I can let my truck do the fuel economy thing, and our speed can go up as high as 70 going downhill. So that gives us a little more fuel economy flexibility, which is always nice, because this truck is good at saving fuel when you let it. If you're okay with it swinging your speed between, like, over a 10-mile-an-hour range, that was Basin that we just went through. That was the entirety of Basin. More snow! Like, one of these hillsides gets sun and one does not. You may guess. But it is the one with snow that does not. Cruise control off for the turns. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, there's some glass. That's a bad sign. Somebody screwed up there and went into the wall. Another tight turn. Around to the right. We're down to 50 mile an hour right now for this one. Even though the sign said 55, the signs are often optimistic or just meant for cars. They don't often reflect the speed that you need to bring a truck around these corners. But we're also empty, which means our center of mass is not in the same spot it would be with a cargo. that looked like a can of some kind of shaving cream can or whipped cream all over the place. Or possibly like super dense fire retardant foam. Super dense foam. That's like two words that do not go together. Nope, too fast. Oh, now. Cruise control back on, I think. Me and my lead foot going way faster than I meant to. It's pretty windy today, if you can't tell by audio once again. But so we managed to creep out of Great Falls. Great Falls was getting like a 30 mile an hour wind from the southwest, which I did the number crunching and realized that the wind was going to be mostly a headwind once we were on I-15. So it's like, well, I wouldn't normally drive with a 30 mile an hour wind if it was a crosswind with an empty trailer, but as a headwind, I can handle that. As a headwind, I can handle that. Because it only takes a 45 mile an hour gust to knock over an empty trailer if it hits you at just the right angle. So you gotta be careful. If you're doing 60 and you get hit by a 45 mile an hour gust at the perfect angle, it can roll your truck. If you're in a loaded truck, it takes like 60-ish mile an hour winds. And if you're loaded really nice and heavy, it's usually like 70 mile an hour winds. So we generally just avoid driving anytime sustained winds get up into the like 10 to 15 under what a gust could knock you over with. Just because that's playing it safe. Because if you've got a 30 mile an hour sustained wind, it's really not that hard to get a 45 or 50 mile an hour gust. It happens all the time. All the time. But I am glad we got out of Great Falls, because if we didn't get out of Great Falls this morning, we were going to be stuck there all night, because the wind's only going to get worse as the afternoon goes on. They were calling for 60 mile an hour gusts later tonight. I was like, I do not want to be here when that happens. I do not. I would rather be in Idaho, where it will hopefully not be as windy. Take me to Idaho and give me my cargo. My delicious, delicious cargo that is going not very far and paying quite a lot of money. Which is the best kinds of cargo. Is cargo that's paying lots of money and not going very far. Oh, that's a beautiful fuzzy green mountain. That's gorgeous. So many trees. Like, you think of the Rocky Mountains, especially the northern Rockies, and it's a lot more rocks, I guess. It's cool to see just like a fuzzy green mountain like back home in Virginia. These are the kinds of mountains that I'm used to seeing. Those green fuzzy mountains covered in evergreens. Christmas tree mountains. There's plenty of properly like craggy rocky mountains up here. They're all over the place. So it is nice to see. There are some that are a little more like what I'm used to. They are beautiful. Oh, there's some houses on the side of this one. That's a cute house. It's like an octagon shape. Which seems odd because every other house down here has been an A-frame. So the octagon shape seems like maybe a poor choice, considering how much snow you get up here. A-frames are super popular up here because they just slough off snow like no problem whatsoever. But anything with a flatter roof, the snow can pile up on top and cause structural issues. Also, when you have a lot of snow on your roof, it melts, especially if your home is warm. And if your home is not perfectly waterproofed, some of that snow will find its way inside in the form of drips and leaks. So you want a roof that can really just shake off the snow like nothing happened when you're up in the mountains like this. I'm not sure what the elevation is here. You'd have to check just like Google what the elevation is in Basin, Montana. It doesn't feel like we've gone too much up or down from there. But we are coming up to a chain-up station. So we might be getting close to Butte, I think. Maybe. Yeah, Butte should be somewhere around here. We're pretty close. We're going to be stopping in Butte for fuel and McNuggets, which is fuel for the truck, fuel for the me. Easy, buddy. Easy. It is well known that I function on a diet of McNuggets and Diet Pepsi. I was really good last night. I was really good. I did not buy pizza. We delivered at the Sam's Club, which literally is next door to a Domino's, and I did not buy pizza. It took all of my self-control. I've learned that there's this trick that I can do to myself, where if I'm like, I kind of want to buy food that's not great for me. I've already had pizza once this week, so it's like I need to not do that again within 7 days of a previous pizza binge. So like I've learned that there's this trick where I can be like, well, I could get pizza here, or I can go park at this other truck stop that also has decent food, and I'm like taking advantage of my own brains. I know that I'm a lazy piece of crap, so like I might not be willing, like if I tell myself, oh, I don't want to walk to the pizza place, it's kind of chilly, I want to go to this truck stop that's right next to a restaurant, it's a much shorter walk, and then if I go to that truck stop and I park super far away from the restaurant, and then I don't go to the restaurant either, and I just like pick up a sandwich or something in the truck stop, and it's like I just like tricked myself into making a good decision there. I tricked myself into making a good decision by understanding how lazy I am. And it resulted in me not eating 2,000 calories worth of pizza yesterday. So win, win, win for me. And now I'm going to ruin it by having some chicken McNuggets. There's your rocky, craggy mountain there for you all to enjoy. Cragginess. Northern Rockies doing their thing, being all snowy, even in October. Poor Bison, we're catching up with him again. I'm doing 58 mile an hour, and I've passed this Bison now twice, because he's governed at 62. So every time we get between the mountains, he's able to catch me and pass me again. And then I'm doing 58, and I catch up with him on all the hills. And I feel bad, but I don't give him trouble when he goes to pass me again. I like back off a couple mile an hour just to make it go super easy. But like, you know, you feel kind of sad when you pass someone like 3 times and you know you're slower than they are in every situation except this one repeated situation we keep finding ourselves in. Like, it just so happens that I'm empty and I can climb this mountain way faster than Bison can. Oh, that's a beautiful view off to the right there. Look at that. That lovely little river and all the mountains and the snow. And the old railroad line. That's adorable. I like that. That's like picturesque Montana right there. Snowplow turn around. Cruise control off for the turns. Here we go. Ah, got some more snow. There's a lot of snow there. They got quite a snowfall up here, I guess, pretty recently. Maybe that was the same storm we got stuck in last week when I came up here. Curious, very curious. Here in the rocks, plinking off of my frame as my tires pick rocks up off the ground and throw them at my own truck. Chain removal area, half a mile. So I guess we're not quite at Butte yet. That must be a little bit further ahead. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We're 15 minutes into this. Apophis has turned his buzzer back on, which means it's time for me to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Ellie O'Dare. You can find me on the internet at Ellie O'Dare on Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, Steam, Nintendo Switch, all of those cool places. Not now, Apophis. All of those cool places you can find me. And come say hi. Instagram's a great place if you want to see lots of cool photos of places I go with filters that are of questionable quality on whether or not they improve the picture or make it worse. Cruise control back on, please. Thank you. And you can also find me on Twitter. All of the Instagram posts will cross-post there as well if you want to see them. Though you'll have to click through the link because they don't post as images on the Twitters. But yeah, Twitter is a great place to get a hold of me. I do check it very frequently. Basically every time the truck stops, I check the Twitters. But you can also leave comments below the videos and I read them all. So that's you know, the perfect spot to get something in front of my eyeballs right there. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.